Fish. What is a fish? Fish are water-living vertebrates, of which there are some 25,000 different species. These species are divided into 3 groups: jawless fish, cartilaginous fish, which includes sharks and rays, and bony fish, by far the largest group, which includes eels, swordfish and trout. The goldfish's brain controls all its body activities. It does this by sending messages along the spinal cord, which runs protected inside the spine. Its heart pumps blood around the body, and its kidneys remove waste products from its blood. Fish have gills, which they use to breathe by extracting oxygen from water flowing over them. The swim bladder is a bag filled with gas that helps the fish maintain its position in the water without rising or sinking involuntarily. With its 2 opercula closed, the fish opens its mouth to suck in water. It then closes its mouth and uses muscles to force water over the gills and out through each operculum. As water passes over the gills, oxygen is extracted. By opening and closing its mouth and opercula in this coordinated manner, the fish maintains a constant flow of water over its gills. Jawless fish. These fish have a smooth tubular body and a round sucker-like mouth with sharp, tearing teeth. Jawless fish are divided into 2 groups. Lampreys, which live in the sea but breed in fresh water, are parasites that suck the blood of other fish. Hagfish are scavengers, feeding on the flesh of dying or dead fish.
Jawless fish. Cartilaginous fish.
Fish. What is a fish? Fish are water-living vertebrates. How fish swim. Jawless fish. These sharks and rays. These saltwater fish have a skeleton made of cartilage, the same flexible material that supports your ears. There are more than 700 species of sharks and rays, known collectively as cartilaginous fish. Sharks swim by moving their streamlined bodies from side to side. Rays have flat bodies and a whip-like tail, and swim by gently flapping their broad fins.
Rays move gracefully through the water by passing waves along their wing-like pectoral fins. A ray's mouth is on its underside and is adapted for feeding on shellfish and worms on the seabed. Rays spend much of their life lying on sand or shingle, camouflaged by their patterned skin. The spiracles behind the eyes open and close to draw water in over the gills.
Eels. These bony fish have a long, smooth, tube-like body that either lacks scales or has scales embedded in the skin. Eels move like snakes. sending S-shaped waves along their body from head to tail to push themselves forwards through the water. Found in both cold and tropical seas, some species of eel also spend part of their life in fresh water. Bony fish. Most fish, apart from jawless fish, sharks, skates and rays, have a skeleton made of bone. The greatest variety of these bony fish is found in tropical oceans. Many tropical bony fish have bright colours and patterns, which are used to defend a territory, attract a mate, or warn that the fish is poisonous.
Tropical fish live in the warm waters found near the equator. Many species swim among the beds of seaweed and the coral reefs that fringe the shores of tropical countries. Some tropical fish feed on seaweed or coral, others hunt for the tiny animals that inhabit the reef, and some prey on other species of fish. The bright colours and patterns of these fish help them to recognize others of the same species.
What is a fish? Fish are water-living vertebrates, of which there are some.
Mammals. Primates. This group of intelligent mammals includes lemurs, monkeys, apes, and humans. Primates generally have good eyesight and 5-fingered hands and feet that have nails and are adapted for gripping objects. Most primates live in trees. Some feed only on vegetation, others are both plant eaters and meat eaters. Primates come in all shapes and sizes. This lemur's forward-facing eyes and grasping hands and feet are common primate features. Ring-tailed lemurs are both ground and tree dwellers. They walk on all fours and use their long fingers to grasp and feed on leaves and fruit. Gorillas spend most of their lives on the ground, whereas gibbons are experts at moving from tree to tree. Aquatic mammals. There are 3 groups of aquatic mammals. 2 of them, whales and dolphins, and sea cows, spend their entire life in water. The 3rd group, seals, sea lions, and walruses, breeds on land. With a streamlined body, limbs modified as flippers, and a thick layer of blubber for insulation, aquatic mammals are well adapted for life in water and can spend long periods of time submerged. A 50-ton humpback whale and her offspring swim in the cold oceans of the Antarctic, feeding on plankton. The whale's streamlined body slides easily through the water. Its skin is smooth, apart from the clusters of barnacles that form on its head. The broad and powerful tail flukes push the whale forward with such force that it can soar into the air before crashing down and diving to great depths. What is a mammal? There are more than 4,000 species of mammals, ranging from bats to elephants and from mice to blue whales. Most mammals have hair covering their body and are warm-blooded. They feed their offspring with milk produced by their mammary glands. There are more than 4,000 species of mammals, ranging from bats to elephants and from mice to blue whales. Most mammals have hair covering their body and are warm-blooded. They feed their offspring with milk produced by their mammary glands. Mammals are divided into three groups: egg-laying mammals, marsupials, and the largest group, placental mammals, which includes humans.
The rabbit's brain controls its body activities by sending messages along its spinal cord, which is protected inside the spine. Its heart pumps blood around the body, and its kidneys remove waste products from its blood. Mammals have 2 lungs, which they use to breathe in oxygen. This male rabbit has 2 testes. These produce sperm that fertilize a female rabbit's eggs.
Marsupials and egg layers. 2 mammal groups give birth to semi-developed young. They are the marsupials and the egg layers. Marsupials, including kangaroos, produce tiny young that finish their development in their mother's pouch. The 3 species of egg-laying mammals lay soft-shelled eggs which hatch after 10 days. Insect eaters. About 1/4 of all mammals depend on insects as their main or sole source of food. Some belong to a group of mammals called insectivores, which includes shrews, moles, and hedgehogs. Other insect eaters include anteaters, tree shrews, and most bats. A large insect eater, such as the South American giant anteater, can consume more than 30,000 insects each day. Bats. There are 2 groups of bats. The larger group, the insect-eating bats, hunts for food at night. Fruit bats use sight and smell to find the fruit or nectar on which they feed at dawn and dusk. Bats are social animals. They roost together in large groups in caves or trees. Bats are the only mammals that can fly. Fruit bats rest by hanging upside down from their roost. They are easy to identify by their fox-like faces, long snouts, and large, alert eyes. The bat's wing is supported by long, thin finger bones covered by flaps of skin. Fruit bats use their keen eyesight and sense of smell to hunt for food, usually at dusk or dawn. Different species of fruit bats have different diets. Most eat fruit, but others rely on nectar and pollen, or tiny insects. Rodents and rabbits. Rodents form the largest group of mammals. They include beavers, squirrels, mice, and porcupines. All have 2 pairs of chisel-shaped incisor teeth, which they use for gnawing seeds. Many have cheek pouches for storing food. Rabbits, which belong to the same group as pikers and hares, also have long incisor teeth. They feed mainly on grasses and other vegetation. Large plant eaters. There are more than 200 species of large mammals that feed mainly on grasses, leaves, and stems. They include elephants, as well as hoofed mammals such as horses, buffalo, rhinoceroses, and antelope. Most have mobile lips, a tongue for grasping plants, and large, flat cheek teeth to grind up vegetation. Cattle and deer. These hoofed mammals belong to a group that also includes moose, antelope, sheep, and goats. Typically, they are grazers of open grassland or woodland shrubs. Most cattle and deer live in herds, and many have horns or antlers. They can run fast, enabling them to escape predators. Pigs and hippopotamuses. These mammals are close relatives of cattle and deer. Pigs and pig-like peccaries are forest dwellers. They use their snout to sniff out food such as fruit, seeds, and small animals, and to root around in soil. Hippopotamuses eat only plants. They live near rivers and lakes in Africa and spend much of their life in the water. Cat-like carnivores. Carnivores, or flesh-eating mammals, are divided into 2 groups. cat-like carnivores and dog-like carnivores. Cat-like carnivores include cats such as cheetahs and lions, as well as civets, hyenas and mongooses. Fast runners and good climbers, cats of all kinds are well adapted for hunting. Almost all cats live and hunt on their own. Tigers are the largest of the big cats. Their striped coat provides good camouflage when stalking prey in their forest home. Until about 6 months old, young tigers are dependent on their mother for food and protection. Older juvenile tigers are more adventurous and like to explore their surroundings and hunt for food. Their long, sensitive whiskers help them find their way in the dark, and their large, sharp canine teeth are used for gripping prey. Dog-like carnivores. There are two groups of bears. Although they are classed as carnivorous mammals, most bears live on a mixed diet of fruit, seeds, mammals and fish. Only the polar bear is exclusively a meat-eater. Usually, bears have a large skull and a good sense of smell, but poor eyesight and hearing. Apart from the black and white giant panda, nearly all bears have a single-coloured coat of fur. Primates. This group of intelligent mammals includes lemurs, aquatic mammals. What is a marsupials and insect eaters? Bats. Rodents and rabbits. Large plants, cattle and pigs. Cat-like, dog-like carnivores. There are two groups of mammals classified as carnivores: dog-like carnivores and cat-like carnivores. Dog-like carnivores include dogs such as wolves and foxes, as well as bears, raccoons, badgers, skunks, and water-living otters. Dogs are well adapted for running and hunting in open country. They detect food by using their excellent senses of hearing and smell, as well as their keen eyesight.